Tonight on EKB Evening News at 6, Pikeville sees its future developing at Marion's Branch. Good evening, I'm Cindy Mae Johnson.
And I'm Gary Sloan. Last night's EKB Shannon Deskins brought us the story of Pikeville leaders traveling to Ireland. While there, city officials learned more about diversifying and developing the local community.
Tonight, Shannon turns her attention to the Marion Branch development site, where the next chapter of the city's growth is expected to unfold.
For nearly 10 years, Pikeville city officials have been working to get the Marion Branch industrial site ready for business. The second phase of the road to access the 380-acre site is nearly complete, and construction of a new access bridge should begin this summer. Once the road and bridge are both complete, the first occupant of the Marion Branch site plans to begin construction. Alltech, led by Dr. Pierce Lyons, plans to bring 2 new businesses to Pikeville, and officials couldn't be happier.
So somebody with that kind of vision, looking at Eastern Kentucky and seeing opportunity, seeing landmass that we didn't see, in ways that the land can be utilized in ways that we may not have thought of. Alltech has been labeled by the governor as a catalyst. Looking at Eastern Kentucky, being the first to come in to show that other industry can work if you think outside the box. Looking at a multi-layer chicken facility or poultry facility at bringing in 120,000 chickens that will lay eggs to sell the eggs to local market in local distributors is just absolutely amazing. But it's thinking outside the box of traditionally what we wouldn't have done.
Blackburn said Alltech's initial plan has them occupying about 20 acres, leaving 360 acres available for other businesses looking to build in Eastern Kentucky.
We're already part of the state's industrial development plan, to where if somebody's looking to locate in Kentucky, they'll know this site exists. We will go out and market the site as an industrial site as well, but we can't do that until all the components are there. So once it's all said and done, within the next 12 to 14 months, we're going to have a remarkable piece of property that's owned by the government that we can offer subsidies that maybe somebody else can't, will have adequate water, adequate sewage, a great road, easy access to US 23. This will be the premier site in Eastern Kentucky.
Depending on how much space is utilized by each business at the Marion's Branch site, Blackburn said we could see as many as 50 businesses move into that area. For EKB Evening News at 6, I'm Shannon Deskins.
The results are in on a report prepared by State Auditor Adam Edelin on the financial health of Kentucky's rural hospitals. 3 hospitals in the state have received a rating of excellent: Methodist Hospital in Union County, the Medical Center in Franklin, and the Pikeville Medical Center. Michelle Hagee, Pikeville Medical Center's Chief Financial Officer, says the hospital's financial success is at least partially due to its stature as a regional medical center.
And what that means is, over the years, we've tried very hard to bring physicians to our area, and not just primary care physicians, but also specialty physicians. That allows us to treat all major specialties and subspecialty medical conditions, and that again allows us to keep those patients here in our area and to be able to take care of them. In addition to our most recent specialty that we've been moving toward is trauma, and of course with us being able to now treat trauma patients, that too allows those patients to receive that care here and not have to send them, to other hospitals or other facilities outside of Eastern Kentucky.
Hagee went on to say that Pikeville Medical Center and its employees are responsible for nearly $18 million a year in state and local revenue taxes. So its financial strength is very important to our region. To ensure their long-term financial strength, Hagee said that planning is the key.
You find that healthcare is a big unknown and what's going to happen to it from a regulatory perspective, but just in terms of making sure we maintain our financial soundness is, we plan very much according to budget as best we can. We strive to maintain the budgets that we set, but we never sacrifice our patients' needs to be able, to meet those budgets. Although we don't know what the future holds, we certainly try to adjust to that as we need to.
Other hospitals in our region who participated in the survey include St. Joseph Martin, which received a rating of good. Highlands Regional Medical Center and the ARH hospitals in McDowell, Whitesburg, and Williamson all received ratings of fair. The complete report is available online at auditor.ky.gov.
The Federal Emergency Management Agency declared West Virginia a major disaster area yesterday after severe storms in March that caused flooding, landslides, and power outages. Governor Earl Ray Tomblin says the declaration paves the way for assistance to local governments to clean up debris and to repair or replace facilities damaged in the storm. Mingo County Commission President John Mark Hubbard says the declaration will allow his county to move forward with repairs.
We, as the county, declared the county as well as a state of emergency, which allowed us to apply for any state funding that would be available and any federal funding. We were notified last night that FEMA has declared Mingo County as far as public works under the disaster, so we'll be able to go back, hopefully, and recoup some of the money that was expended during that time during this tragedy.
Kentucky officials hope to see a similar declaration, but assessments in support of that declaration are still being completed.
Nearly 100 people, including local officials, gathered today in the Pikeville City Park to recognize April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. Many communities across Kentucky and the nation are hosting events this month to bring education, awareness, and understanding to a problem affecting thousands of children. Officials reminded people of the region that children are not immune to this problem, and therefore community involvement is important.
It's very important that social services and law enforcement become involved in something at the beginning of the knowledge of someone knowing about child abuse, because if we get involved, then it prevents it from getting more serious and a child becoming very seriously injured. And also, we can get them out of that environment. We might can get counseling or help for the adults that are involved, because there may be something that's going on that's causing those issues. And maybe we can reconcile those families.
Event organizers are also encouraging everyone to wear blue April 10th to show their support for child abuse prevention.
April is also Child Abuse Awareness Month in Mingo County and Autism Awareness Month, following action at today's County Commission meeting. EKB's Shelby Steele was there and brings us this report.
2 proclamations were signed today during the Mingo County Commission meeting for the month of April. The first designated April as Child Abuse Awareness Month in Mingo County.
Approximately 3 million children are reported abused and neglected in this country each year. And whereas the effects of child abuse are felt by whole communities and need to be addressed by the entire community.
A child abuse awareness flag will be raised during the annual walk on April 14th. Another proclamation signed today was Autism Awareness.
1 in 68 children are diagnosed with autism. And as of right now, there is no cure. And everything that we do here in the county, we have community sponsors and businesses that help us. Everything that we do, we put straight back out to our families.
The Mingo County Autism Association not only supports the member of the family who has autism, but the other families as well. For EKB Evening News at 6, I'm Shelby Steele.
Coming up, Pike County Judge Executive Bill Deskins has drawn attention to the issue of fair housing.
And continued action on the Breaks Master Plan is seeing more activity on the Kentucky side of the mountain. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
As the Breaks Interstate Park continues working to implement its master development plan, more activity is being seen on the Kentucky side. Park Superintendent Austin Bradley says visitors will now have more opportunities in the Bluegrass State.
The master plan process has been ongoing at the park for the last 18 months with a lot of folks from Virginia and Kentucky pitching in, and providing their input on where they would like to see the park go. The final version of that plan has actually been approved by our commission, and which basically means that we're free to begin working on all the goals and objectives that the public identified that they would like to see the park pursue. Some of the things that are included in the master plan are development on the Kentucky side with overnight camping opportunities in Carson Island and the Ratliff Hole area. And then of course one of the things that plays into all of our master plan efforts and really just our public safety efforts here at the park is the fact that Virginia law has changed this year to make our rangers into conservation officers, which basically opens the door for law enforcement jurisdiction reciprocity on the Kentucky side of our park. So for the first time in over 60 years, our rangers will actually have jurisdiction on both sides of the park.
Another component of the plan is to eventually open access to the park from the Kentucky side.
Pike County Judge Executive William Deskins took action today to raise awareness of the issue of housing rights. Deskins signed a proclamation designating April as Fair Housing Month, saying no person should be denied housing due to race, color, religion, sex, national origin, handicap, or family status. Pike County Housing Authority Vice Chair Randy Johnson said everyone deserves equal treatment.
Everyone should have the ability to have a roof over their head, one hopefully that doesn't leak, an opportunity to have a place for their things, have a place to call home, have a place that is safe from harm. And that is our goal always. We do everything that we can, a number of different programs, and as a Pike County Housing Authority, we are an equal opportunity housing agent.
In his proclamation, Deskins said fair housing treatment is not only a matter of law, but also a fundamental human entitlement.
The Mingo County Commission issued a warning today regarding roadside signs. Those who have signs posted on light poles, guardrails, traffic signs, and the like have 30 days to remove them before the county disposes of them. If they are replaced after they're taken down, the company or individual will be fined. Everyone has until April 30th until action will be taken. It's illegal to hang or post a sign on a traffic sign, light pole, or guardrail.
Eastern Kentucky has lost a fixture of the medical community. 77-year-old Dr. Elster Dean E.D. Roberts of Pikeville died Monday at the Pikeville Medical Center. A native of Pikeville, Dr. Roberts returned to his hometown in 1983, where he maintained a private practice and joined the staff of Pikeville Medical Center. At the hospital, he served as Medical Director of Emergency Services, Director of the Advanced Cardiac Life Support Instructor Team, and Director of the Paramedic School. He also taught as an adjunct professor at the University of Pikeville and was active in the Pike County Medical Society and Kentucky Board of Medical Licensure. Visitation is this evening at the J.W. Collinson Funeral Home Chapel. Funeral services will be tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Well, coming up, the University of Pikeville released its football schedule today. Andrew Joyce will tell us about it in sports.
Football weather, huh?
Absolutely.
First, EKB Chief Meteorologist Lathan Hopkins will be here to tell us if this great weather we've enjoyed today is going to stick around. We'll be back in just 2 minutes.
The weather with Chief Meteorologist Lathan Hopkins is presented by the Ira Branham Law Office.
Well, we joked about the weather being football weather. We're going to hear more about that in sports. But it has been an incredible day.
It has indeed. Another beautiful day with temperatures in the upper 60s to near 70 degrees. Can we make it 3, 4 in a row?
Let's do it.
Well, temperature-wise, it's going to stick around. Now, the sunshine, not so much. Doppler radar showing, well, not a lot going on this evening. Again, we are high and dry across eastern Kentucky, southwest Virginia, and western West Virginia. Satellite and radar composite, the only thing that we have really to deal with this evening, a few of these high-level clouds that are moving through parts of eastern Kentucky. I can actually take you outside and show you exactly what I'm talking about. This is the weather cam at the National Weather Service office in Jackson. You can see a few of those higher-level clouds continuing to move through, and even here at the station in downtown Pikeville, you'll see those there on the right side of your screen, a few of those higher level clouds moving through. Other than that, a beautiful day. Temperatures now down to 68 degrees in Pikeville. We have 70 in Williamson, 68 in Inez, 65 Prestonsburg and Salyersville, and 66 the current temperature in Paintsville. Officially the high today, 67 degrees, overnight low of 38. Normally 64 degrees and 42, so close to where we should be this time of the year. No rainfall today. We're still running about 2 inches of rain above average for the month. Let's take a look at that satellite and radar composite again. Again, high pressure in control. It's hard to find a cloud in the sky, but you have to go all the way to parts of Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and you can see an area of low pressure developing. This is part one of what will be 2 systems to impact our region beginning tomorrow evening and running throughout the day on Friday. Here's how things play out. You'll see this system continuing to get its act together and eventually trying to bring in some precipitation here across parts of Kentucky. I think most of us will stay dry through tomorrow evening, as a matter of fact, before those showers and thunderstorms get going. And then we'll watch as this front continues to move closer and closer to the region, especially Thursday night and during the day on Friday. That system could bring in a couple of gusty thunderstorms, and the Storm Prediction Center has parts of the region in the slight risk category, mainly to our west for tomorrow. But for Friday, that slight risk category tries to move closer and closer to eastern Kentucky. Any of the thunderstorms that develop could produce some locally heavy rainfall as well as gusty winds, and that will be something we will watch very closely over the next couple of days. As far as the pollen count is concerned, brought to you by Faith Pharmacy, Adams Plaza in Pikeville. Oh well, tomorrow is not good at all. The max level is 12, and tomorrow we're at 11.5. But with the rain moving in on Friday and Saturday, that will drop back down into the medium category. As far as the 5-day forecast is concerned, 77 degrees for tomorrow, 73 with the showers and thunderstorms on Friday. Once that system moves through, we cool down into the 50s on Saturday and back in the 60s as we make our way into Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday still looking sunny, beautiful, a little cool that morning for the sunrise services with temperatures in the 30s, but by the afternoon into the 60s.
That sounds pretty good, but
It
now
does.
it is April Fool's Day.
I
Tell me you're
promise you
kidding
this
about
is
the pollen
not
count.
The pollen count, no. You are already suffering, and you wait till tomorrow.
Great.
You'll feel even better.
Boy.
Lucky you.
We'll be back with sports in 2 minutes.
Okay, we go from a pollen count to a football schedule? That seems unusual to me.
Seems a little odd for spring, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
But the University of Pikeville football Bears, they're in spring practice. They're having to be concerned about the pollen count.
Sorry for him.
And head coach Al Holland Jr. and the Bears released their football schedule for the 2015 season yesterday. The season opener will be at the Hambly Complex in Pikeville when UPike will host Bluefield 7 p.m. August 27th. 5 home dates on the schedule this season, including Point University, Cumberland University, Union College, and Georgetown from the Mid-South Conference. The Bears also have scheduled Division I Campbell University September 3rd, Bethel, Reinhardt, University of Cumberland, and Kentucky Christian all on the road. The Bears were 5-6 overall last year and 4-2 in the Mid-South Conference. They're currently in the midst of spring practice, which wraps up April 16th with the annual spring game at 6:30 at the Hambly Complex in Pikeville. And the newest addition to the University of Pikeville athletics family is finally in play. The women's lacrosse team has struggled for the past 2 years to get the program off the ground. Michaela Colley caught up with the UPike women yesterday at practice.
On March 10th, the University of Pikeville women's lacrosse team held their first game. And since there are no local teams in the Appalachian area, only 5 out of the 17 players on the roster have experience.
Right now we're 1-4, but I really don't think that the kind of record shows how much effort we've put in. This year it's a lot of fundamental skills because we do have so many new girls. Next year we have about 8, maybe 10, waiting on a couple more to commit to me, coming in that have the skill set that we're already looking for. So even next year it's just going to be an incredibly different team. These girls who have played and have switched over from other sports have even asked, like, can I play next year? Like, can I re-sign with you? And I'm obviously going to give them the chance. They put the work in this year, so we're going to have probably 25 girls on our roster next year. And at that point, they'll all be experienced lacrosse kids. I think right now, with the Final Four March Madness going on, you see the hard over hype shirts, and we get out to some of these games to play these established teams, and I really think that the heart aspect of that over the hype is really what this team is all about. All these girls put in so much work. We We are different than other sports. It's a little bit of basketball, a little bit of hockey, a little bit of soccer all rolled into one, and I know Kentucky's kind of a basketball state, so hopefully we can get lacrosse going. We're just excited. We have 3 more games. April 7th is our senior game. We do have some seniors. We play at 4 o'clock versus UVA-wise here, and like I said, that's going to be kind of our rival right now, so that'll be a good game to come watch on the 7th.
The U Pike lacrosse program is continuing to build on this foundation to make them a top contender in lacrosse play. For EKB Evening News at 6, I'm Michaela Cawley.
Thanks, Michaela. In high school baseball and softball yesterday, more spring break action from Myrtle Beach. Central High out of Alabama rallied for a 6-5 win over Pikeville, dropping the Panthers to 10-3 on the season. Pike Central locally came out on top over Phelps 11-1. Brad Elkins was 3 for 3 at the plate, along with Hunter Clark. The Hawks improved to 5-3 on the year. Allen Central got a huge win over Shelby Valley, outslugging the Wildcats 16-0. The Rebels are now 6-2, and the Black Cats of Prestonsburg blanked Betsy Lane 4-0. On the baseball diamonds this evening, Magoffin County goes to East Ridge. Letcher Central travels to Pike Central. Betsy Lane visits Prestonsburg, and South Floyd is at Shelby Valley. And in softball action yesterday, Clintwood got a 9-3 win over the East Ridge Lady Warriors. Belfry knocked off Pike Central 13-6. The Phelps Hornets got a win over Hurley 13-3. Today, both Paintsville and Allen Central take on Sheldon Clark at 4 and 5:30, and Belfry will travel to Phelps. And tonight, we'll leave you with a viral video from the boys' Sweet 16 at Rupp Arena a couple of weeks ago. Peyton Peanut Henderson, a Bowling Green native, made it to the Late Late Show with James Corden last night. Here's a look from the state tournament. That's Peanut Henderson from Bowling Green having a great time at the Sweet 16.
I know he's in Bowling Green. We got to get him here because
Absolutely.
I want to dance with him.
He was on the Late Late Show. He can get it on, can he?
I think so. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Well, Lathan, another look at weather.
Temperatures tonight dropping back into the 40s, but tomorrow we are well into the 70s, 77 degrees. The best chance of rain holding off until the day on Friday.
And kind of exciting, a Kentucky-based show coming up.
How about that? Bluegrass and Backroads.
That's next.
I'm interested.
Well, that will do it for this evening's EKB Evening News. Remember, you can get more local news anytime by listening to the radio stations of East Kentucky Broadcasting.
And you can follow us, EKB News and EKB TV, on Facebook and Twitter. We end tonight with a musical selection from the Pike Central Jazz Band. They performed at today's Community Holy Week service at Pikeville United Methodist Church. Good night, and thanks for watching.